Okay.
Welcome back to Dungeon Not Included, where we have our extremely successful guest, GM Russell Collins.
Yay!
Surprise last minute 24-hour boost to your Kickstarter.
Yeah. It's weird. I am very happy that it hit its goal. I am still trying to figure out exactly what happened to cause that. Honestly, like a couple of people posted to say this looks really weird. Like almost like kind of like this looks suspicious. I'm like, yes, to me as well. I do not understand. But suddenly the tweets actually found their audience, and people were actually replying to things. And I got a lot of comments from folks saying, "Oh, hey, this is the first I'm seeing this." And I'm like, what was going on? How was it being filtered from you that you didn't see this in all the several hundred tweets that I sent out over the course of the month? So right. I don't know. Fleets were taken down around the same time, right? Was that it?
That was it. It was the day before they finally got rid of fleets, and then people were like, "Oh, I'm not busy with the top section of my Twitter anymore." Now I can see.
That must have been it. That must have been it. Fleets disappeared, and that opened up space for my tweets about my Kickstarter.
It makes about as much sense as anything. So yes, hooray! We no longer could afford Russell. So we're gonna have to scramble for the next week and figure out what's going on.
I can't.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'm sure.
Busy. Gonna be a busy couple of months now. So
all right.
Here we go.
Oh,
you know what I attribute this sudden success to?
Hmm?
The haunted doll I found in the woods in Ohio. That is now sitting in my room with me.
Right. All that entropy had to go somewhere, and right in that doll.
I would like to say for the record, I did not make any deals with the doll's spirit. I did not pray to the doll. There was no candles or incense involved. So
right. And where is Jennifer Rogers right now?
She is downstairs
communing with the doll.
Watching the Suicide Squad. So.
Oh, nice. Almost as bad.
Getting caught up on the pop cultures.
Almost as bad as communing with the doll. But yes, let's game. This is super exciting. I cannot. I'm very happy, and I can't wait to see this project develop. But let's get back to role playing.
All right. So let's pick back up where we were. We're kind of in our scenes of daily life for our pilots. We are, of course, on the arcs. We've gone through a few sort of minor situations and discussions so far. Dr. Bailey seems to be pushing you guys and trying to figure out, what's the psychological effects of piloting. You've been kind of pressing on the CRC representatives who are trying to. You still there?
Yep. Yeah, we can still hear you.
I just got a error message popped up, and I was like, what was that? But if you can still see me, I'll keep going. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the CRC reps are complaining about. We're complaining about how Noah was handling the new Neuro influencer weapon. Let's see. And soon enough, the Arx Ocker is going to launch from Philadelphia. So right now, Arx Jericho is basically hovering over half of the city. Below you in sort of the old shipyards of the city, there's another Arx, basically, the size of an aircraft carrier, just sort of held up on anti-gravity suspensors, floating just 100 feet above the ground over the old naval yards, with just all the buzzing hive of activity going on around it. Soon that launch ceremony will begin, and then you'll be able to move on with your lives and get away from all this stuff. One of the things about that, though, is they've been training up a lot of the crew for the Arx Ocker aboard Arx Jericho. And that actually means that there's going to be some goodbyes soon. A good number of people have been aboard Jericho for the past couple months have been here to learn and prepare and so on, and they're going to be transferring over to the Ocker. And included with that is Able Company as well. So the other team of Saint pilots will also be joining the other Ockers. Mm-hmm. Sorry?
They're transferring to the Ocker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to be transferring across to the new one.
Okay.
So what do we want to plan? Can we like plan some sort of like prank on them before they go?
Oh, that's important to you.
Yeah, let's do. I mean, we don't love these guys.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll we've already had a good deal of rivalry around all this stuff, which might be why I'm going to cut in here and say, Fatima, at it's an afternoon. It's after classes. You are making your way across the little park in front of the academy space, and that's actually when Vikas, one of the Able Company pilots, walks up to try and get your attention, waves you down, etc., and says, "Hey, Fatima, look, I need your help with something."
You need my help with something?
Yeah, kinda. Look, so you know the thing about Jamie? Professor Marta wanted to have this whole thing,
Yes.
part of a commemoration. Yeah. Well, I think Noah was supposed to do it, but he didn't, and the due date's coming up. So Marta gave that to me to do, and I don't know anything about Jamie. So I thought maybe you knew something you could tell me about her. Just I don't know.
Yeah, why are you coming to me though?
Well, I mean, if Noah didn't want to talk about it, I figure I shouldn't bring it back to him. Nobody else in Able Company ever really, interacted with her. So I thought maybe you're kind of as close as I'm going to get.
Okay, it's kind of weird that Marta asked you to do this if you didn't know her.
She wants something, and when Noah didn't do it, she just started handing stuff out. I mean, I don't get why I have to do it either, okay? I mean, I'm a pilot. That's what I'm supposed to do. Just be a pilot. I don't know why it's everyone else thinks it's such a big deal that I've got to do all this other stuff here. Isn't it enough that I'm like, whatever? You know what it's like.
Well, maybe I can talk to Noah about it.
I mean, if you could, that'd be great. Because right now, all I really have is just everything I kind of downloaded from her personnel file. And I mean, that's just
and I don't think that's going to do it.
You know how Marta is. She wants like heart and soul and spirit and whatever else that, Well, I mean, if you think you can do it, that'd be great.
Yeah, let me see what's up with Noah.
Thanks. It's a big help. And with that, he takes off, running back across the park, back towards the buildings.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to talk to Noah about this.
I actually think Salem is going to seek out Noah because Salem wants to help him with his emotional problems.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So this
we'll bring up the emotional problems so that you can fix them.
Yes.
I see. So does this mean the two of you are going to have an intervention? You're going to have an intervention with Noah? The Fatima and Salem are going to pull Noah aside for an intervention?
Yeah, well, I want to talk to him about this. I kind of want to see what's going on with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Quick aside. I think Brendan, your headphones are not plugged in, or your mic isn't it? Because it sounds like you're on some like webcam mic.
Is this better?
Yeah.
My mic was too far away. Sorry.
Okay, that's a much more simple explanation. There's some sort of science going on over there. Explain it.
There's a sound science happening, and maybe you could fix it.
Yes. All right. So yeah, I'm probably on my bunk reading.
Reading.
Having no idea what's about to come down on me. Why don't you you two want to meet up and talk about it, or
yeah, I do. Actually, no, I want to talk to you. I think we'll
correct. Okay.
Both of us will show up around the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, with separate agendas.
Yes.
I see. All right. So, yeah.
So you're in your bunk?
Find Noah in the dorm and confront him.
Yeah. So Fatima's going to come in and say, hey, Noah, I want to talk to you about something. And then Salem shows up.
Yeah. Salem walks in and goes up to Noah and says, I've been doing some readings for you, and I'm very concerned about the outcomes of the cards.
The cards? You're okay, cool. Like, what happened? What's going to happen to me?
Well,
is the prank war going to work?
So you've been feeling very overwhelmed lately, as far as the cards are saying. And right now there's a lot of things on the line: success, determination. All of these things are in a nebulous position, and it could really go either way, but it's really important that you're open to giving and receiving right now. So I think it's really important that you talk about Jamie.
So, like, I'm nodding in agreement, even though I'm not sure if I'm getting most of what you're saying, but like, I'm interested. And then Jamie, and I'm like, why would I even say anything about anybody, or especially not Jamie? Why Jamie?
Well, your energy has been very stagnant, and I think it's because you're closing yourself off to feeling, honestly, especially when it comes to Jamie.
No, I mean, I have no feelings. I mean, clearly I am the normal amount of sad about a person I know who is not alive anymore. Just the normal amount. There's nothing else. I have no feelings. I have no feelings whatsoever. So how can I close myself off from them? Because I have none. None. Zero.
Fatima, you see what I'm saying, right?
So, Noah, you really haven't talked about this since Jamie died.
This? What this?
What is feelings? This? Anything at all?
I mean, I feel like I've talked about my feelings a lot about things that are relevant. Like the stupid gun they gave me with no instructions and then yelled at me for not being able to use it. That's I have feelings about that. Those feelings are anger, and confusion is a feeling, right? So those, I mean, why would I think, like, you're talking about something that's definitely in the past and that none of us can do anything about because so far they haven't given us any time machines. So why even bother with any of this?
Because if you don't acknowledge it, you can't, like, accept it and move on.
I mean, I don't have any choice but to move on. It's the time to have done anything is in the past. Who am I talking to now about? Like, what does it matter that I say anything to Jamie is dead. So if I had anything to say to her, in hypothetically, nothing, it's too late. So why even bother? Listen, I don't get what you're doing here, or what either of you are doing here, especially you, Fatima. Why do you even, Like, since when do you care about anyone or anything? But I gotta go. I'm gonna go for a walk because I'm gonna try to figure out this thing that Trainer Raj told me to do. All right, so I gotta go. Bye.
Oof. Okay. The intervention did not go as planned, huh?
No.
I could still be. I mean, you probably know where I'm gonna go, or maybe know that I've got nowhere to go. I don't know.
Right.
You are on a flight. You are on a, you're on a ship that's floating in the sky. There are not a lot of ways to get on and off.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So listen, Salem. Clearly, Noah isn't processing things. Dr. Bailey is not going to help because he's just a company hack.
Absolutely.
I feel like we've got to do something about this. Noah can't just hide from all this.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried showing him the cards. I've tried the Ouija board. I've tried crystals. I've tried everything. I just don't know. I don't know how to get through to him.
Well, I'll give it a shot, even though he was really rude.
I love the young people saying, "Oh, this trade professional doesn't do garbage."
I love that trying everything means I've done tarot, I've done Ouija boards. That's everything. I've exhausted all possibilities.
We've tried nothing and we're out of ideas.
Yeah, basically. But this is how accurate it is. Once in college, a bunch of friends of mine and I thought we could use Wraith the Oblivion to help someone dealing with psychological problems.
Oh my goodness.
We're idiots. Well-meaning, very well-meaning. And thankfully, we never actually did anything with it. But
yeah, that's a game that's designed to engineer and create psychological problems.
Yeah, just stupid. Any game really would have been terrible, but that was probably the worst choice.
I do love it.
Every few years, I think about it, and I'm like, what the hell is? This is why I feel like we're playing these characters perfectly.
Yes.
Salem has a specific way that Faye communicates, and if people aren't receptive to it, they're a little bit lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Okay.
I don't think hardly anybody is receptive to it, at least in this group. So.
Well, don't worry, because Fatima's next.
Fatima's going to go try to find Noah.
All right.
I will be on the volleyball court, like after hours, and I'm just sort of pacing back and forth and hitting the volleyball up. It's really hard to be like dramatic with volleyball. I just realized I can't just hit it over the net and then go back on the other side and hit it back. I guess I've got a bunch of volleyballs and I'm just spiking them.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
So listen, you might think that I don't give a shit about people, but I do. I feel like you haven't opened up at all since Jamie was gone. You've gotten to be this all business, all, we're a team. We got to be team players.
Got to be team players. You know who you sound like?
I know who I sound like. Fucking Raj.
Yeah.
At that point, a voice from off the court says, You're going to pick all those things up and put them back when you're done, right? And Trainer Raj steps down towards the court. He looks like he's been working out, like, he's wearing his tracksuit and so on, like, but you can see, like, you can see sort of the sweat on his forehead still, and he's got he's got like a workout towel stuck in his belt that he was wiping his hands on. What brings you two out here to the court this evening?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was just leaving after I pick up all these balls.
All right, suit yourself.
Also start helping Noah pick up the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love all this role playing. I want is there a mechanic we could pull in here? Because I want to know whether or not, I don't want it to just be my feelings, whether or not Fatima is getting through to me. Because I have something devastating to do or something really great to do, but I don't know where I don't know where Noah is. Yeah.
Well, should I make a roll?
Why don't we? Well, okay. So what we could do is we can, if you want to actually, if you have an idea of what kind of consequences or so on there should be, then I think we need to find out who's, taking the action here. If Fatima is trying to break through to you, then, I think if you'll accept the goal of that, then Fatima, your goal is to get Noah to open up.
Yeah, Fatima is definitely doing the is bridging the gap here, Salem before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Fatima, if you would like to pull together what traits do you think are influencing this attempt to get Noah to open up?
Well, I think Brash is actually playing into it because Fatima's doing this in a much more direct way than she would normally want to. And also her hope for acceptance, I think, is the other thing that she's working on.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I hope this works.
Because it's going to be terrible otherwise.
Now, Trainer Raj did just kind of insert himself into the situation as well. So he could have an influence on the situation, maybe good, maybe bad. So he could be another source of...
because I have a link to Raj. Yeah, so I'll roll the 3 dice.
All right, let's see what we get with those 3 fate dice. I am not looking at the right list of things. There we go. Okay.
Ooh, not great.
Not great. We're looking at a blank and 2 minuses. Now,
so the outcome I get to pick, right?
Yeah, you choose first. You're going to choose the goal die. The goal of, do you break through to Noah and get Noah to open up about what's going on? Now you can, pick a die. You can still choose to spend a point of ego to tweak the results. But remember, you can only spend 1 point. You'll only be able to tweak one of these dice.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and tweak the outcome to a plus.
All right. Then yes, you will get through.
Which leaves you to decide the consequence.
Yeah. I'll decide. I'll decide. Yeah. I'll pick the cost. I'll decide. Well, we know it's a minus. So I'll deal with the bad news. But tell us about this breakthrough. Go on. I want to hear this. This is the good stuff.
Yeah. So as Fatima is picking up the balls with you and putting them back in the bin, she's gonna say to you, "Listen, I don't have much that I'm looking forward to, but you and Salem are the only thing I've got that's like family."
Oh,
Really sweet. And this is going to make a breakthrough, but we don't know what the consequences. Okay, I think I know how to play this. So like Noah is trying to hide his face as he picks up these balls, and it's like just a ridiculous. Picking up multiple volleyballs is kind of a hard thing to juggle, and at that he is clearly trying to hide his face because he's crying. And he says, I've never had a family. I've never had anything. I haven't. I don't even have. I never even had the courage to tell Jamie how I felt, and now it doesn't matter because it's too late. And everybody wants me to talk about it, but they just want me to talk about it because it'll make them feel better to see me break down and fall apart. They want me to be sad and miserable because I don't have parents. They want me to be sad and miserable because she's gone, and because I don't even know what that would have meant. What am I supposed to be? I liked her. Maybe it was just a little bit. I didn't even get a chance to tell her that. It could have been nothing. It could have been just a stupid school crush, but I'll never be able to figure this out. I'll never be able to really know. And everybody just wants something from me, whether I'm piloting a giant ship or just making a fool of myself in front of everyone, or if I'm throwing myself into Raj so that you can get away with whatever the hell you were doing. Like, everybody wants something from me, and that's all it ever comes down to. And I don't want to do it. This is for me. I'm gonna be closed off for me because I want to be, because I want to be miserable, and there's no one who could convince me that if I told the truth to everyone in a crowd that suddenly I'll feel better about this. And you know what? Raj hates me anyway, so screw this. And I kick a volleyball into the wall, and I leave the rest of them as I go off to cry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to say that because of the minus for the cost, Fatima is going to gain a trouble from this.
Right.
So let's add a trouble. I want it to be my family is fragile.
Okay.
That right now you do see this connection. I mean, you were able to make this connection. You got Noah to open up, but you recognize at the same time that it's a tenuous link.
Mm-hmm.
And that, someone threatening your connection to Noah or to Salem is going to cause panic and worry and put you at a disadvantage because you recognize that you have this connection, but it feels precarious.
Mm.
Cool.
All right. And we are down to one beat before we get to our crisis scene. So
we need a scene with Salem for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why don't let's move ahead a little bit. So we haven't been able to get Noah to deal with the situation. So the commemoration event is going to happen shortly anyway. And I think in kind of a last desperate bid for someone to do something, Professor Marta basically corners you, Salem, as you are putting on, your nice uniform for the event, for like the commemoration event. They know that they're gonna basically break a bottle of champagne over the front of the Ark's Ocker, and they're gonna launch later today. So everybody's getting all nicely dressed up, and they're transporting equipment across to the other machine, the other machines, and all this hubbub is going on. And they're gonna have celebration to commemorate people and recognize the hard work and so on. So as you are, putting on your uniform in order to attend, Professor Marta just kind of swoops up to you, still holding her clipboard as always, and says, "Look, Noah has given me nothing to work with. I've asked Able Company to chime in and maybe help out. No one's able to do anything for me. Look, Salem, can you just get up and say a few words about Jamie, just so that it sounds like it's coming from a person and not from, a resume?" She says, holding up her pad where you can see Jamie's, pilot record listed there. Just if just say a few nice words. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Great. Okay. And with that, she vanishes back into a crowd of of busy planners. Soon enough,
Could see Salem being so helpful, and the potential for this to misfire is just so great.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. How good are you at speaking in front of?
At least Vicus is off the hook. So.
True. Yep, he's off the hook. So now, Salem, how do you feel about crowds?
Oh, Salem's fine with them, but they're not so great with Faye.
All right. So the commemoration ceremony is actually taking place on the top deck of the Ark's Ocker. You hop into one of the little VTOL jumpers piloted by Captain Blanche, who's been running those transport flights back and forth. She's got a big smile and a thumbs up for the three of you as you load aboard with a few other techs. You skip across to the Ocker, and they drop you off on the top deck, and you all walk over to the park between the academy and the dorms, which, looking at it, it's pretty much the same as yours. It's almost like a weird duplicate copy. You can see a few differences here and there. The lighting fixtures are nice and new on the lamps here, and they've got a fountain with a piece of modern art sculpture in the middle of it, which is kind of a change. Yours is more of a classical art statue of like St. George. This is some sort of modern art thing of descending spiraling triangles. But everyone's just, putting themselves together up there, and the commemoration event begins. There are a lot of guest speakers. There are a lot of people's faces projected up on a big screen that's been set up, beside the speaker's podium. Polite applause, all that sort of thing. And then, with enough time, it gets around to you, Salem, and Marta swoops into the crowd to guide you up to the podium. Taps her pad, and Jamie's face appears nice and big on the projection screen there. And with that, it's your cue to tell everyone about Salem in a nice, a nice tribute to her. To tell everybody, Salem, to tell everybody about Jamie, and a nice tribute to Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
There. I think I got the names sorted out the second time.
Jamie always had a warm, yellow energy.
Some people in the crowd start to turn to look to each other.
She was always great at spreading positivity, sharing that positive aura with other people, and able to really connect on a larger level with other people.
Marta's face has been doing this kind of weird, like, fluctuating thing where every other sentence she smiles and then knits her brows in confusion, and then smiles and knits her brows in confusion as you go through the sentence. Like almost every other word, she's trying to figure out how she feels about what you're saying. Please continue.
And while, sadly, Jamie is no longer physically with us, I think her energy is still here today. It is with me and the others in family company. It's with our fellow pilots. It's all throughout the arcs, because Jamie made a lasting impact on us. And while energy can dissipate over time, for now, it's with us today.
All right. Well, let's see how you moved the crowd. So which traits? Which traits? Let's see.
I would say outsider.
Yeah.
holistic and disturbing
Sure
are the things that went into that speech.
Yes, all the weirdness. All right, yes,
those are the core ingredients. Yes.
So let's see. Let's roll 3 fate dice, and let's see how well your speech is received by the crowd.
Rebel, just hats off for also to be touching. It was like, oh, this is some nice sentiments, and then I'm not sure about that one, but
weird.
yeah.
I think.
All right, that's pretty good roll.
So I roll 2 blanks and a plus.
Yes. All right. Well, you get to choose your goal die from those 3. Which shall it be? How will that speech hit? The plus means great success. The blank means success.
Well, considering who is speaking and what Faye said, I think blank is probably more accurate to what has happened here today.
I don't think there's ever been a more accurate die result than blank.
Yep. The applause is confused. The applause that comes as you finish what you're saying is confused. There are plenty, like you can see a couple of people like leaning over, like, who is this that Faye talking about? What? This? There's just a lot of confusion. But overall, the sentiment was nice and pleasant, and that's enough for Marta, who comes up to you with this smile that looks like it's kind of been painted on in order to make sure that she's smiling, because she's not quite sure how she feels either.
I'm standing up and cheering and clapping.
Yep.
Salem appreciates it.
Yes, Marta smiles, nods, and leads you back over to sit down. So, I am going to choose the blank as the cost, which means a little bit of angst, a little bit of worry, because everybody seems to have accepted things, but they're being weird about it. And I mean, you were trying to be really heartfelt. I mean, you know you're being heartfelt, especially because since we have a leftover plus die, that means you're also going to get a point of ego out of this. So you did your best, but everybody just seems to be acting so weird.
That's great.
So yes, this is a very interesting mixed result.
Yeah,
I think this is the most. I would say this is the most accurate to like what it felt like saying it.
Yes.
I mean, it was what I was going for, because Salem is not it's not clear cut in fair heartfeltness. As genuine as Faye is.
Yes. All right. Well, after the commemoration event is over, there's a light lunch of sandwiches and some pleasant conversation. You're all given that how when the adults get the champagne, the kids get that like fizzy apple cider.
Right.
Apparently there's enough of that you were all given the fizzy apple cider. A few years to go yet before you're allowed that. But then of course you'll be aging out of the program, so hey, who knows? But let's see. Where are we? Oh wow, that's the last of our beats. Yeah, we are.
Last of our beats. We're about ready to get an alien attack.
Yes, we're just about to get into the crisis scene. Okay.
And I think Noah may not be in the crowd, if that adds anything to what you're planning on doing. I think he may not have wanted to be there for the
commemoration.
Well, we're gonna hold off just a little bit, because it's after the commemoration ceremony is done, and after the big announcements and all that, and they ignite the fusion drive engines, and bring them up to full power in the Ark's Ocker, so that it starts floating up, and everyone sees the skyline of Philadelphia kind of sink and shift below you, in that parallaxing effect of seeing the raising of elevation, and big uproarious applause from everybody, looking out over the sides of the top deck. And then it's pretty much over. The sun is starting to set, and you and the other people meant for Arx Jericho are being led down to the launch bays to catch your shuttle and fly back over to to the other side and get back aboard Jericho. Able Company is actually there waving goodbye to friends and so on as they head off, and the three of them see the three of you, and there's a moment for you to say something if you so desire.
I'm going to say off the hook after all, Vicus?
Yeah, kind of a relief, honestly. Thanks, Salem. I don't know exactly what you said, but it sounded nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sam and Sam and Heike just kind of cross their arms and shake their heads in this kind of weird dismissive way as the three of you move past to get aboard Captain Blanche's transport.
Salem's gonna hand them all the crystals.
Gotcha. Yes, you hand them more crystals. Vicus accepts the crystal with kind of a look of, this is kind of cool, kind of interesting. Sam and Heike take their crystals, give you this kind of smile that's reserved for, oh, you shouldn't have, you really shouldn't have, and then, drop them into their pockets.
As I go past Sam, I'm going to kind of, mess with my nose a little bit and then go by.
Yep. Yeah. Sam takes the hint and just if looks could kill kind of glare. So the three of you are back aboard Blanche's shuttlecraft, and she's closed things up and is about to fly you over. So how'd the ceremony go? I didn't have time to get up there. Was it nice?
I thought.
Is Noah with us now?
Noah, yeah, you have to be by now.
Okay, yeah.
Transporting you out of here.
You were hiding out during the ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah, head hanging low, not really talking to anyone.
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, I thought it was nice too.
Well, I guess what's important is that they did it. They're launching this Arx. Everybody's happy. I mean, we're going to have another Arx in the air. That's a lot more, power we can turn against the Venator. And that's a good thing, if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So you're airborne between the two Arxes, flying towards the landing bay, when alarms just begin to blare everywhere around you. Coming from one Arx to the other Arx, the emergency evacuation alarms begin to sound down in the streets below you. Blanche grabs the controls and guns it to fly your little VTOL craft into the landing bay on the opposite side. Just get out of the air, get out of the open air as quickly as possible. She's already screaming orders back and forth on on her communications link, and all three of your personal links start to come up with alarm commands about getting down to the launch bays in order to get into your Saints.
I mumble under my breath, finally, and I'm darting ahead as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm jogging along behind.
Salem's gonna rush along, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, you charge down toward the launch base. Fortunately, at the level that you're at, you're already pretty close. I mean, the landing bays and launch bays are on the sort of the underside of the Arx, so it's not difficult for a bunch of techs to quickly, catch up with you, surround you, and start pushing you towards the locker rooms where you can change. As you are making your way there, though, you realize with kind of a apprehensive worry Your three saints are standing in their racks, where they wait to be loaded up. But Golden Giraffe, Vicus's saint, is also still in the rack. They're hooked up with transport cranes and all that kind of thing, but apparently they've only got two saints on the other arcs so far, and Vicus was just left behind there. So you're going to be down a saint as if they need to launch both companies. A point that is being driven even, being leaned on even harder by the voice of Commander Merrick coming through all of your communications. Looks like they caught us in a bad situation here. We are short-handed on saints. I want pilots to deploy and climb aboard the heavy transport elevators ASAP.
All right, let's move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you rush down to the locker rooms, hop into your flight suits, get into the tanks. The technicians all buzz around you, moving as quickly as they can in order to try and get everything squared away. They seal you into the control pods. There's that sort of weird suspended animation feeling, and then you feel your eyes focus. You feel your the sort of trembling in your limbs as you start to gain control over your mechanical body. All your weapons are attached and stored about you, and the racks detach, and all these gantries and restraining bolts slide out of the way, and the three of you are standing in the launch bay, but instead of heading up to the mass driver launcher, instead there are some technicians on the ground in a little like golf cart thing, waving batons over their heads to guide you to them as they drive to the other end of the hangar bay, where there is a huge elevator system, meant to just like move tanks and such from one story to another of the storage levels and launch bays and so on. Downside is only one saint can go on this thing at a time. So who's going to go first?
I will, if everyone's okay with that. I think I want to get into a fight, so I'm not thinking anymore. I do that.
Yeah.
All right. So you push your way in front and step on board the elevator, which moves slower than you would like, obviously, up through the levels of the arcs until a hatch opens above you, and you can see yourself emerging out onto the top deck. You're near the back of the ship, so the engines and and maintenance buildings and so on that are on the top surface are here. Turning to the other side, you can actually see the back of the command tower, sort of like the conning tower, and beyond that is where the academy and the park and all that other stuff are kept. There are soldiers of the Preservation Force scrambling around on the ground around you, and you can see that there are WASP-style locust units flying in and strafing across the decks,
Nice.
trying to intercept the fire that's coming at them, and so on. There are, let's see, so the targets include the infantry on the top deck, and also they're trying to get the anti-air cannons. If the Locust can take out the anti-aircraft cannons, then they'll have free reign to just keep strafing across these both arcs from where they are. I mean, looking over to the side, you can see Arcs Ocker in a similar situation. Troops up on deck and tanks and cannons firing into the sky. No sign of a saint yet from their side, though.
I am going to be uncharacteristically point and aggressive. I'm just going to do Tiamat missile array and try to get as many wasps as I can to lower their numbers so that we have a better chance of protecting all the targets.
All right.
So mostly just want to hurt them.
Gotcha. All right. So right now it's just you up there. The other two will probably be able to join you after this exchange. Which target are you aiming to protect? The cannons or the infantry? Who's who's a greater concern to you right now?
I think the cannons,
Gotcha.
which is atypical for me, but cannons, because we need those to kill as many of these things as possible. That's
all right. So yeah, you step out, start taking aim. Your perception of the sky in front of you kind of shifts and opens up. One of the great features of having all these, super sensory devices built in is that you can have this huge sweeping view of the sky in front of you and even all the way around you. I mean, it's dark now, but that doesn't matter to a saint, See infrared, ultraviolet, whatever you need to see. And so you're picking out all of these targets in the sky above, and you can feel the Tiamat rockets, like, they're still in the launch pod, but you can kind of feel them lock to each target. Each, the computer in each one, you can feel it picking out the target that it's going to track and destroy. Nice. All right. What traits are coming into this? Obviously the Saint.
Saint Fearless. I would say I am deceiving myself. I'm trying to get into a fight and not like I'm trying to blur out everything that's going on in the back of my mind.
Which is interesting because you do note that you don't have any angst, huh? All right.
I don't know. I guess
so
not.
That means your id is 0. So you're actually in a pretty good state for that. So since you came to the fight with no angst, your id is 0. If you have any, angst on your pilot, then that comes to your saint as id. But it looks like you're okay. All right, so that's good. All right, yeah. So deceiving, fearless, the saint itself.
Yeah, discovering. I don't know if I'm really doing much other than target. Oh, and the missiles.
Yeah. Well, the missiles aren't a trait. You add them on at the end if you need to use them up.
Right, and this remind me we've unchecked things that have been checked before.
Yeah. All your equipment's been resupplied or repaired.
Yeah. So I think it's 3D. 3 dice. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So 3 dice. Let's see what we get with the 3 dice.
And
interesting.
3 blanks.
3 blanks. Now a blank is still good. It's still a success. It just means that you don't rescue that target. It just means the fight continues over it.
And what do I spend to up that again? I think
you have the option of either spending a point of ego to increase it, or using up your gear for that. So basically, if you can turn that blank into a plus if you spend all your missiles again.
Yeah, narratively, it just feels like I don't want to keep just shooting missiles out of my back the entire time. So I've spent those missiles.
Okay,
and I'll pull that out to a plus.
All right. You get that beautiful Sakuga moment of just, flurries of missiles just spraying out in all directions, each one tracking. And similarly, you kind of take your saint's perception and brain, and as you felt the little computer in each missile finding its target, you sort of experience that as well, as you kind of feel that perception spread out through the sky as if you are flying in all these directions at once, and then bang, 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 bang all around you. Knocking down one wasp after the next, after the next, after the next.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I needed.
Cannons are in the clear now, so they will be able to continue firing and fighting back.
I know we don't have much time left, but I just want to admit being stupid. I zoomed all the way in, or at 100% on roll 20. I didn't even notice that our targets are there. Or the beats. I didn't even see it.
You didn't see them.
Yeah. I'm like,
on the screen the whole
super useful. Like, that's really useful. So yeah, go on. Yes.
Cost. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Cost is a blank, so that'll be 1 point of id increased there as the aggression builds in your saint.
Perfect.
All right. So yes, we are running out of time, but I do want to give Salem and Fatima a chance to do something. So yeah, the two of you arrive on the top deck to see Noah standing there under basically a curtain of of fire in the sky, smoke rising from the missile, the multi-missile packs on his shoulders. That if I shouldn't say Noah.
Tigana.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. I need to be using your saint names because you are your saints now. Yes. So you see Tigana standing there on the deck, smoke rising from the multi-missile launchers and just fire right across the sky, and the broken remains of Venator wasps dropping, to the ground below. However, the infantry on the top deck are still running around kind of frantic. And then, where do I want to put this? Ooh, wait. No, I have a better idea. I have a better idea.
That's never a good thing to hear from your DM.
And then, so the infantry are still running around on the top deck, in danger of these attacks. There are fewer wasps in the sky. The anti-air cannons are holding up their part to fight back and so on. There's still some people here who are in danger. But then also, glancing across at the Ocker, the Saints still are not on the top deck of the Ocker. They are still, firing away with their anti-air cannons. And then there is a shriek that, just wipes out all of your senses for a flash. There's this blast of light and this horrible noise. And then the Ark's Ocker shifts as if a tremendous weight has been dropped on it, and it's like a boat, in the ocean, basically, like sort of riding on the waves of its anti-gravity drives, trying to sort of hold itself up. It dips and then sways back up and then sort of sloshes side to side. And you see standing on the back deck of the Ark's Ocker is a Magnus. It's punched its way through parts of the top deck. Fortunately, the Arx is reinforced enough by its anti-gravity thrusters and its electromagnetic bubble to stop the thing from just going straight through. Didn't pierce all the way through it, but it smashed through the first top two decks and is now standing there on the back of the Ocker. Just this huge plume of smoke arrayed around it. It starts to reach up with clawed arms and bladed wings and glowing eyes. And Astaroth appears on the battlefield. All right. So do we have time for an action, or do you want to leave the cliffhanger there of the two of you?
Sounds like a good cliffhanger.
I think that's a good cliffhanger.
All right. So when we come back, we'll have to figure out if you're able to rescue the Ark's Ocker from where you are while trying to keep the Ark's Jericho comfortable in the air.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
I'm excited.
A good question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. I have some stupid ideas, which is great. And actually,
the best kind of ideas.
Really, the only ideas I have. But yes, awesome. So if you want to back the Kickstarter, too late. But go to robotclaw.info and you will find out more about this game as it gets developed and as you can get a copy yourselves. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you again, Russell.
Sure. Thank you.
And what else do we want to do? I should ask this at the end of every show. Do we have anything else we want to plug? Brennan, do you have anything you want to plug, Rebel?
Right now, no.
I don't.
That's why you don't do it live.
That's true. Yeah, you should give me a little notice.
Yeah,
get projects.
Make something
I
up.
work 4 days a week and go to school like the other 3, so I don't have time for
just a couple of arts and crafts. No. All right.
Not really.
Creepy doll. Your creepy doll. That's your new project. Is creepy
Discovering
doll.
creepy dolls. Don't underestimate it.
Listen,
well, I've stalled long enough.
Photo book. Creepy doll.
If you don't find it in a stump in the woods, is it really haunted?
Right. All right. On that note, I have stalled long enough to find the end broadcast button. So from all of us here, John included, bye, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.